What's up, everybody? It's Sid and Millie back with another episode. Thank you
Facts.
so much for joining us today. We will be talking about the France versus England World Cup, I guess, third place match,
Consolation game.
consolation game.
Yeah.
So it was a crazy game.
Yeah,
What was the
unbelievable.
finishing score?
6-4 for
Six to
England. A
four
10
England.
goal game.
It was insane.
Insane. Bar none, the best game of the World Cup. Will
Yeah.
be the best game of the World Cup. Honestly, a shame that we're going to have to watch the final tomorrow.
This would have been a great final
Because
match.
this was just such a fantastic game of football.
Absolutely.
From beginning to end, just fantastic.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
that's what we're chatting about. So obviously England ends up getting third place at the World Cup, secured third place at the World Cup after today's game. But yeah, the game itself was just unbelievable. Really was.
Yeah. I mean, they were fighting for that third place. And I'm proud of France for shooting and scoring so many goals because they
Yeah.
were down 4-0 at
Yeah,
the
yeah.
half.
Yeah.
But I thought it was really interesting because you were telling me like France had a lot like going on this game today.
Right.
So
yeah,
what was
yeah.
that kind of like before the game? What was that energy like for the teams?
Yeah, well, essentially France came out. They wanted to be just all out attack. They didn't want to defend at all. They wanted to try and score goals, try and get Mbappe to the golden boot, and try and make Deschamps' last game in charge of the French national team go out on like a big high. So they just wanted to be full out attack. And so they were kind of hoping that England was going to start their pretty typical lineup, in my opinion, because that would have allowed them the ability to kind of been more full out attack.
Right. Yeah. Very true. But
But
that
yeah,
did not happen.
yeah, exactly. And I think for England, once again, I think the FA, everybody involved in the England men's national team should be asking questions of Tuchel, because once again, highlighting when you play with an attacking group of players, they create danger.
Yes.
That is what you need. The best way to defend is to continue attacking. And that is what England did in the first half. I was dying because I saw a tweet on Twitter after England scored the first goal about 5 minutes in or so when Rice scored. Someone tweeted, "All right, lads, only 95 minutes left or 85 minutes left to defend," which was hysterical.
Because where was that in the Argentina game?
That's what I'm saying. It's just baffling. Like the fact that Saka was an unused sub, the fact that Rashford only got like 5 minutes, just absolutely criminal from Thomas Tuchel.
Yeah.
And both of those players showed today why they should have been given more time in the team. And you kind of notice, regardless of what you'll say of the game not having pressure, whatever, regardless of that, England was way more dynamic in the attack. Having their number 9 actually stay in a number 9 position and not get in the way of the midfielders opened up further space for Declan Rice to continue to manipulate the game. It also gave Rashford and Saka the ability to not only run at their outside backs, but to create dangerous opportunities from the start of the game. Rashford's first cross came in the 3rd minute. It took 3 minutes into the match for Rashford to cut inside and put in a dangerous ball, which resulted in something for England.
Yeah.
And the first corner kick that England got in the first 10 minutes was off of a Rashford shot.
Wow.
So it just goes to show when you put dangerous players on the field in these positions, they will force the other team back because they will have to defend them. Rashford and Saka's speed kept France honest, and it highlighted that France was not ready to defend. Rashford and Saka were having a field day in the first half.
Yeah, they really were.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what was kind of the change that really made that difference?
Well, just the difference in personnel. I mean, dropping, what's his name? The former Newcastle guy, Gordon, dropping Kane, actually starting Saka. They changed the entire front three and then changed a couple of the midfielders as well. So all of those changes, again, it allowed England to play more attacking football. They were more dynamic. They were willing to play riskier balls, willing to play balls into space, and they had the players that knew what to do in those positions. And that is something that they were missing in a lot of their other games. They were missing that dynamic to their attack, missing the ability to force a backline back because you have a runner running in behind. And that's why, again, Saka and Rashford highlighted how important it is for these sorts of players to be in your team.
Yeah,
It's
that's
just
fair.
immensely important. So yeah, the difference in the personnel made all of the difference. Because
Yeah,
so
and France was clearly not prepared for that.
no, not at all.
Mm-mm.
France did not want to defend. France
No.
did not play the first 45 minutes of the match.
No, yeah,
I mean,
not at all.
England were cooking them
Cooking.
all over the pitch, winning the ball. They shut down Elise, they shut down Mbappe, and they were
Mm-hmm.
just playing through France. And France had no interest in like defending.
Yeah.
But essentially, with France, what went wrong for them in the first half was their possession was just so slow. They never really had an opportunity to actually break England down because of the fact that their buildup was so slow for so many times. So every time England won the ball back, they were immediately like, boom, all right, let's hit them. And it was working. And so England kept doing what was working
Wow.
in the first half, at least.
Yeah.
And that was essentially how they got like the 4-goal cushion, which
Yeah.
insane to
I
have.
know, crazy. And they also had that 1 goal called back for offside
Right,
as
yeah,
well. So
yeah.
it could have even been 5-0 at the half.
Yeah, and that was pretty close. Pretty
Yeah.
close. And even Rice, I gotta say, like, he played much better without Anderson in there.
Mhm.
I mean, say what you will, but again, midfield is all about the partnerships and finding the right partnerships that work with the right balances. We saw that Declan Rice plays really well with Kobe Mainoo. We saw that combination at the Euros.
Oh,
Thomas
okay.
Tuchel in the last Euros. Thomas Tuchel decided to fully abandon that and not play it. Anderson and Rice were not really the best combination of midfielders. And so Rice today kind of highlighted what he can do when he has a little bit more freedom in his role. Winning that ball back in the midfield, immediately taking a space and scoring within 5 minutes of the match. And he literally was just like, yep, this is what I can do. Yeah. Yeah. But again, those are the sorts of spaces that exist on the field when your forward, your number 9, isn't dropping into the midfield. You know what I'm saying? Like where Declan Rice won the ball, typically Harry Kane probably is clogging up his space in there asking for a pass. And so Rice probably wouldn't have had that much space to run forward.
Okay.
But again, that's neither here nor there. I really think the attack was way more dynamic without Harry Kane. And look, I know Harry Kane is a prolific goal scorer, of course. Not anything against that. But he drops too deep into the midfield to pick up the ball. They have to put a little bell on him or something where as soon as he crosses into the midfield, it starts ringing or vibrating or something and forces him to go back up. Because he's got to... Yeah, for real. Something like that. Because England attack much better when their number 9 stays in the attack.
That makes sense.
And when the number 9 is dropping off, again, you have to have players that are willing to run in behind, which is why if Harry Kane is going to continue to play and be the star man for England, you need Rashford and Saka as the players who are playing off of him, because you have to have players who will run in behind if you're going to have a center forward that drops in. It's the only way to balance it back out. Otherwise, the center forward is just clogging up the midfield for no reason. And again, without that today, England was dynamic. They were fluid in the first half. Pinging the ball. I mean, yeah, they played France off the pitch for the first 45 minutes.
Yeah, for real. Yeah, and another player that you had mentioned to me was Spence, who was having like, I mean, he had a phenomenal game overall.
Facts.
But
yeah, he did.
How was he in the first half?
Spence was fantastic throughout the whole game. I mean, what a great outside back. The athleticism, his attacking ability, but also defensive wise, he's so good defensively. He absolutely bullied Elise in the first 45 minutes, and France ended up inevitably moving Elise off of the wing because of the fact he quite literally could not get past Spence. And that speaks volumes to Spence. Of course, late in the game, he ended up winning the penalty for England, which Saka converted for his hat trick. So yeah, Spence, I think all in all, was unbelievable. He had a great game and was everywhere for England. So such a key player, and such a fantastic talent, I think. Like, he's a young guy, so for a while, England can be assured that he's going to get the job done in that position. So yeah, well done from him today.
Yeah, absolutely.
But you mentioned something, about Saka. We kind of talked about how he scored his hat trick today.
Yes.
Isn't it mad that he was an unused sub in England's last game?
I just don't really understand what the manager was trying to do in the Argentina game. I just feel like it's pretty clear that you didn't want to win.
Yeah. He was coaching like an undercover agent in that Argentina game. Not gonna cap. That was kind of crazy because I just feel like it's it's kind of insane to not use a player like Saka when you have
Or
them at your
Rashford.
disposal, or Rashford, like thoroughly in the actual heat of the game.
You can't
because
throw
again,
Rashford on at the end of the game and then be like, yeah, you
do
got it.
something. Yeah, no, just ridiculous. Because again, when you have those sorts of attacking players on the pitch, it's going to keep the other team honest, right? They're not going to be able to send as many numbers forward when they know a fast player can run in behind them and get in behind them. And again, for England in the past game, Argentina and center backs both had yellow cards. It would have been the perfect time to have players running in behind and testing those center backs more and more and more. But again, Thomas Tuchel didn't have the cojones to do it in the last game. But again, this game against France, it should be a red flag for all England fans. The fact that Tuchel is not the man for the job, because look at what happened at halftime.
Yeah. What the heck, England?
What was his team chat?
What
did they go into the locker room and play cards?
I know, and taking Rashford off.
Insane. Rashford, first of all, Rashford, unbelievable work.
Yeah.
What a cameo from Rashford.
Wow.
Literally, the Meg for shot was, I mean, that highlight is going to be getting played a lot. But Rashford, literally 5 goals and assists at this World Cup with only just over 500 minutes played. So that is a goal involvement for, every so often.
Literally.
So great conversion for Rashford. Again, another highly underutilized player from Thomas Tuchel, who sabotaged England's chances of winning the World Cup. That's the only way I can say it. He sabotaged them. But again, Thomas Tuchel saw things were going well and said, let's change it.
Yeah.
And change it they did.
Yeah. They felt a little bit of deja vu right in the first couple minutes.
For real. And I mean, look, France made substitutions as well. Like, let's not sleep on that fact. But Thomas Tuchel made one substitution at halftime, and the entire game shifted on its head. I mean, France came out, started bullying England. Everything that England was doing to France in the first half, France started doing to England, playing into their gaps, counterattacking them, and France started racking them up.
They did.
1 goal. 2 goal. I mean,
they could have easily gone into extra time if England didn't score 2 more goals.
I mean, France probably could have won it, honestly. I mean, Jude could have had another one, which Jude, I mean, what an impact player. What an unbelievable player. By far, England's best player at the tournament. The first English player to ever score 7 goals at a World Cup. Wow. So absolutely historical from Jude Bellingham. Yeah. What a fantastic player. And speaking of history, we'll chat about Mbappe. Because Mbappe also made history today, becoming the World Cup's highest goal scorer of all time. Kylian Mbappe. Unbelievable. Yeah, wow. Actually unbelievable. What a player.
Flowers.
Absolutely brilliant. He will continue to be one of the players to watch throughout the rest of his career. He's now up for the Golden Boot as well. He now has 10 goals solely in this World Cup.
Wow.
So he's leading the race for the Golden Boot. So we'll see what happens tomorrow. But it seems like, unless VAR gets involved, it seems like Mbappe has a good chance of getting the Golden Boot as well. So sick. Just... Sorry. No, you're good. But yeah, so just really fantastic from him. I think Olise was great as well. I think obviously he was a non-factor in the first half, but in the second half, when he switched back into his favorite number 10 position, he was everywhere for France, creating a ton of opportunities and such. He did miss some big chances, though. Big chances. Some tap-ins that would have potentially put France back into the game, But anyway, that's neither here nor there.
They were back in the game one way or another.
Facts.
What was it? The penalty that came first for England?
Yeah, the penalty for England. So that put England at up to 5-3 at that point when Spence got fouled. So, Jude Bellingham looked like he was going to take it, but no, he did the freaking brotherly love thing, gave the ball to Saka to complete his hat trick. And Saka, fully composed, no mistakes, slots it into the corner.
Yeah, that was good. That was great to see.
Yeah, it was brilliant. And I love that Rashford assisted Saka in the first half as well. That was a great goal because Saka had played Rashford in initially. Okay. So it was kind of cool how it worked out where even though Rashford didn't score, he worked it back around and got it back to Saka.
So cool. We love that.
Yeah, it was fantastic. And I mean, for me, just highlights why we need Rashford back at Manchester United. We need a player that can create danger immediately, who is going to bring that energy, that acceleration, but also that player that's going to take the responsibility. You know, you
Yes.
never wonder if Rashford is going to cross that ball or get off a shot. He wants to take responsibility. And we need a player like that at Manchester United. We've got too many guys right now that are okay passing and, you know, they want to pass, and that's
Yeah.
fine. But sometimes when you get into dangerous positions, corner of the 18, or you're in a good position to run at your outside back, you want players that are willing to do that,
Yes,
like
definitely.
Saka did, like Rashford did. That's why those players are invaluable, because it's a dying breed of wingers who are actually willing to run at their player and be dangerous. And it's so important. And I think Rashford and Saka exemplified that perfectly today.
That's awesome.
And of course, you know, Mbappe and Elise as well. You right? You know, I mean, Mbappe is unstoppable. He's an unstoppable force.
Yeah, safe to say.
Yeah, even at 4-0 down, you knew that Mbappe was going to get an opportunity at some point in the game to score.
Had to.
But again, it just speaks to the tactics of England. Again, I don't know what card game they were playing in the locker room at halftime, but tactics, people.
Oh
You're winning
gosh.
4-0. How can you manage this game? How can you continue to punish your opponent? Those are the things you want to do at halftime. Yes, it was an entertaining match, end-to-end football, end-to-end chances. For a neutral, fantastic.
Yeah.
But if you're thinking about, you know, the Euro coming up, you should be a little worried about, you know, this team going in, because that sort of in-game management is going to cost England the game in the next game that matters.
Got
you know?
you.
So yeah, while it's kind of a pressure-free situation, yes, we can enjoy the great game of football, but at the end of the day, you've given up 4 goals, lads. That's not good enough in reality.
Yeah, 4 goals after being up 4-0 at the half.
Exactly. It's crazy. It's actually not that good. And from France's perspective as well, this is kind of the second game that France has been exposed a little bit. You know, we kind of think of France as like one of these powerhouse teams that's almost unstoppable, you know, but the last 2 games have highlighted they have a lot of defensive issues they need to figure out. And that will be probably top of mind for Zidane when he takes over the job going forward with the French team. He's got to lock up this back line. They've got to figure out their midfield. France has a lot to figure out in terms of what they can do to be a more dominant team and a more defensively sound team. Because again, they're going to have to face Spain and they're going to have to face England in the Euro in a couple years. So these opponents aren't going anywhere. These aren't like they're facing, you know, someone in South America that they don't have to play again until the next World Cup.
Yeah.
Like, no, they're going to be facing these opponents in the Euro. So France really needs to lock this up and figure out how they can get the team to support Mbappe and Olise a little bit better, you know, in the midfield defensively, to make sure they can create opportunities for them without leaking goals at the back.
Yeah.
Because inevitably, I mean, yes, you got to score more than you concede, but if you're giving up 6 goals in the game,
yikes.
I mean,
Yikes.
It's just not good enough. Not good
at
enough.
all.
And, you know, a lot of the goals that were scored, we can't even chalk it up to, you know, any resounding brilliance, right? I mean, even Bellingham's goal, he just was an athlete. He just bulldozed through the French defenders, outran people, and had more willpower and kept going until he passed the ball in the goal.
Yeah.
So again, from France, that shouldn't be happening. You shouldn't be allowing a guy to be running from midfield almost halfway on the pitch all the way up to your goal to pass it in the net.
Yeah, that's bad.
Yeah, it shouldn't be happening. And from Jude, hey, bro, again, Jude, don't take off the crown, brother.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Real.
You are the anointed king of England. I hope you know that. We will address you as King Bellingham.
Ooh.
That is a fact. He is king. I mean, there is no one on the England team that had an impact as Jude Bellingham.
Yeah.
This entire tournament. I mean, it's hands down.
Yeah.
Kane who?
I know,
I mean,
honestly.
come on.
Did he even come on the field?
Not today. No. Yeah, didn't need him. Didn't need him. I
literally
mean,
did not need him. Look at the result when he didn't play.
I'm saying
that's crazy.
It's time to start leaning in on these young lads. Yes. And start leaning in. But again, I do think Kane has goals in him. I do think he can still be a good player for the England team. But he has to commit contractually in writing that he will stay at the point and stop dropping into the midfield. I'm sorry.
Valid.
The only loophole in the contract will be he's allowed to drop in the midfield if and only if Rashford or Saka is on the field to run in behind.
Mm,
That's
that's it.
I want the contract in writing. But yeah, I think what a game, what a tournament. I mean,
Yes.
anytime there's 10 goals in a game as a neutral,
Crazy.
you're mind blown,
So
right?
fun.
I mean, yeah,
So fun to watch.
it was
yeah.
end to end. There were shots, there were saves, there were. I mean,
it was a lot. It was everything.
Yeah.
It was everything.
100%. And let me say something once again, calling out the referees of this tournament. Can y'all get the F out the way?
For real.
What are
real.
they
What did
doing?
that happen twice in this game?
At least twice. It's like the ref is trying to take the shot. Bro, you're in a passing
Get
lane.
out. Get out.
Move, ref.
Move.
I mean, it is mind-blowing. Who is training these guys? I don't understand it. You should not be following the play so closely. I don't know if it's because you're older guys and you're not wearing your glasses. You should not be following the play that closely to the point that you are in a passing lane of a midfielder who's trying to pick up the ball at the top of the box. You're too close.
Mm-hmm.
And again, highlights my point of why we need referees who have played the game of football, because then they would recognize, oh shit, I'm in a key passing lane right now. Let me get out of this. I can still see the ball.
Yeah.
It's really not that difficult. But when you have people who don't understand the buildup of the game just from refereeing, that's why we're seeing stuff like this. Guys standing right where players are trying to receive the ball. It just, and also referee, if you think doing a dummy at the top of the 18 is getting out of the way efficiently, you're dumb. I'm sorry.
What is that, doing a dummy?
Like, it's like when the ball's coming to them and they like purposely let it go through their legs.
Oh.
But it's just like you have effectively set a screen for the player who's receiving the ball.
You can't see a ball coming at you, literally.
I mean, the referee, oh man.
He said,
and I mean,
oops.
Yeah. And also, we literally have these god-awful commercial breaks that they forced upon us. What was the referee doing during it? Were you not hydrating?
I know.
Having a referee cramping multiple times and us having to stop the game.
Embarrassing.
Again, we need to have it so the fourth official is already dressed and ready to go. If something happens to the center ref, boom, referee substitution. The fourth official is hopping on immediately. Center ref is now the fourth official.
Yeah.
Can hydrate and stand on the sideline. That is how it needs to be. But us waiting on referees to hydrate and get their calves massages,
ridiculous.
I want to rip my eyes out.
Ridiculous.
Never want to see that again.
No.
So those elements, baffling. Just absolutely
trash,
baffling.
Yeah.
But again, that just comes down to FIFA, VAR, referees, all of those sorts
Yeah,
of things.
literally.
But again, thankfully, it didn't take too much away from the match of football that we watched, because it was entertaining regardless of that.
It really was. It really was.
But yeah, I think let me see if I missed anything from me notas.
I mean, I don't think we could have talked about every single thing,
Yeah.
to be honest. The game, there was so much happening in the game.
Facts. Yeah.
I mean, just for
notes.
like a little, we're going up. This is the notes from the game. So
yeah,
a lot happened.
A lot happened. So Mbappe goal, assists. I mean, yeah, Olise missed so many chances, but also created some chances. But I think he'll be pretty upset with some of the ones that he missed.
I hear that. Yeah, of course. You're always going to dwell on the missed chances.
Naturally. I mean, honestly, this was a game that I did not want to end. I was low key hoping for extra time, hoping that France was going to tie it up at 4-4.
I really low key wanted the extra time too, and we never want extra time.
I know. Just so the entertainment can continue.
I know that one. I was like, I want them to go to pens.
Facts. I know. Literally, though, yeah, it felt like I was at the Odyssey. I wanted to just keep going. Keep going. Could have been a 3-hour game. I would have been locked in. Oh man, but you could see, by around like 85 minutes, the fatigue of the game, the pace of the game was starting to catch up with a lot of the players, which obviously, I guess, would need. That's why the ref was struggling too. It's because of the pace of the game. Because you're,
but
having to keep up.
Have a substitute for the
exactly.
ref,
why not? Right. Yeah. Everyone else has a sub. So but yeah, I think what an entertaining match of football. Honestly, it's crazy how entertaining this match was, because I can confidently say the final is not going to be anything like this at all. At all. I hope you were watching today.
Yeah, truly.
Because the final, I feel like it's going to be like a 1-0. We'll
Yeah.
see. I hope
I
I'm
just feel
wrong. I
like
hope I'm
both
wrong.
teams tomorrow are probably going to be very defensive and like guarding their goal a lot.
Yeah,
Thoughts?
I think Spain is gonna complete 2,000 passes tomorrow. I think if
Oh, you
Argentina,
think it's going to be super possession based in that? Okay, that
I
makes
think Spain is
sense.
gonna possess for literally 90% of the game, and I
Okay.
think Argentina is gonna defend for their lives for 90% of the game.
Yeah,
And
okay.
yeah, I think that's it. I
Spain's
mean,
going to be coming out on the
Spain
attack.
has played everybody in this tournament off the park, barring Cape Verde. So
Yeah. Wow.
with that in mind, I just again we know.
If the tournament is not rigged, we'll see a crazy game from Spain tomorrow.
Watch, yeah, tomorrow is going to be the first day Spain can't complete a pass. Watch. But also, Argentina commits the most fouls at the tournament. As
That's
we know, they've
true.
completed over 80 fouls, which is more than any other tournament.
87, I'm pretty sure they
87,
said
right?
today. So almost 90
And yet
fouls.
they received the fewest yellow cards and also had zero VAR interventions go against them,
Make it make
despite committing
sense.
the most fouls.
Make it
So
make
again,
sense.
if we see some nefarious shit tomorrow, we know why. Spain is the most complete football team. If they miraculously have another bad day, I think we know what's going on. But
Yeah.
anyway,
Anyway,
not to dwell on that. We'll
yeah.
see what happens. We'll see what happens. That's all speculation. We'll see what
Yeah,
happens.
yeah,
But all I know is it's not going to compare to the game of football we watched today. Even the star power from
yeah. Yeah.
Rashford in the first half, pulling out the tricks and megs and shots from distance, and the speed in behind was just fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
And Mbappe showing the finishing ability, the composure, and
Mm-hmm.
also in the run for the Golden Boot was just fantastic.
Yes, absolutely.
Both
Hats off.
teams really went for it. France went for it for 45 minutes. England went for it for, I don't know, maybe 70. But yeah, France was not present in the first half, but France in the second half really showed up,
Yeah.
and made it an entertaining match for
They
real.
did. Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a great match of football.
Yeah. So yeah, I think this World Cup, I mean, it's honestly a shame that it's coming to an end.
I know. It's been so fun to watch, but
yeah,
as maybe some of you watched earlier, preseason for Manchester United.
right. Yeah.
So...
The Premier League is starting to come back. So obviously, yeah, Manchester United had their first game today. Yeah. So we're getting back into Premier League season. It's almost August, so the season will be coming up soon. So there's no shortage of footy
but
that we'll be watching. But yeah, the World Cup, as we know,
so
it's so special because of how infrequently it comes around.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just been a pleasure. So
absolutely.
and I love that Rashford got the assist for Saka's goal. That was the 300th goal of the World Cup.
That's right. That was such a cool thing to hear.
Really
they were like,
cool.
Saka's goal was the 300th goal of the World Cup. And I was like, oh, that's sick. That's cool to be able to like have that little
facts. Yeah. So yeah, it's been immensely entertaining. It's been such a good ride. And yeah, the third place game did not disappoint. It was by far the most entertaining third place game and game of the World Cup generally. And yeah, I think, regardless of what happens tomorrow, we can be happy with what we've watched over the course of this tournament. It's had everything: highs, lows, controversy, all the stuff. This World Cup has been all encapsulating, which is why it is the world's biggest sporting event, probably biggest event generally.
Yeah, so. Definitely.
But yeah, so those were our thoughts on the. Anything else you want to talk about in game? All right, those are our thoughts on the France and England third place match at the World Cup.
If you made it this far,
thanks for watching.
And we'll see you next time. Bye.